Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is WanQ. Today we have a very special guest on my YouTube channel, Yeong Park. Excuse me, but I have to get this right. Yeong Park is the Assistant Director for Career and Professional Development for International Students. He works at the Career Center at University of Illinois, and I have benefited from his program called CCI program. I've made appointments with him multiple times to talk about my career and my development in the United States. And of course, he has also helped so many international students to find jobs and succeed in their career development in the United States. So I am very honored to have him on my channel today. Hope you guys can benefit from what he have to say for our career development as international students. But yeah, enjoy.
Welcome, Unyal. So first question, could you briefly introduce yourself, your background, and your role at the university?
Okay, thank you for inviting me, WanQ. My name is Yeong Park. Yeong is my first name, So I'm working at the University Career Center at Illinois for the last 10 years to help international students for their internship and full-time job search, as well as their career explorations. And before coming to the US, I worked in South Korea, which is my home country, for 18 years as an economic journalist, and then as a human resource consulting company, which is more focusing on recruiting services as well as career counseling and career coaching services.
So let's dive deep into the questions that I prepared. For over the years, what has been the biggest challenge for international students to find jobs or internships? And how do you think, like in your opinion, we should overcome these challenges?
Yes. So if you hear this question, you may think first about the immigrations, right? But I'd like to change the languages too. It may be a matter of our students better understanding on the demand of the job market. So demand of job market may include the issue or dynamics about the immigrations or work authorizations things too. Because the many international students don't understand well what qualifications, what quality of candidates are more preferred by the employers, especially in the US when you are searching for jobs or internship in the US. That's why that they are not ready to be prepared for the job market. That is one big areas our students are struggling with so far. The other areas absolutely is about the good understanding on yourself. So, I know, WanQ, you are a very exceptional job market candidate who is aware of yourself very well. But many of our international students coming to me or career services saying, I don't know much about myself. I don't know what I want to do, or what job would be paying more. But I'm asking back, what do you want to do? I don't care. High paying, right? Or whatever job is, that is willing to sponsor me would be my job I want to get. You know what? Your career journey should be longer, not just like this. That's why you have to start with getting a big picture on the job market and understanding yourself. Then if you are putting together your understanding on job market needs and knowing about yourself, especially what do you like to do, your interest, which means and what are you good at? It's about your ability. Even though you like something, but what if you don't have the ability to do that? So the ability is big issues, in searching jobs or deciding your career route. The third one is your value system. You should understand what kind of value systems you are sticking to. Why Unyang is working at the Career Center? Because my value system is asking me to work in a position where I'm nurturing our next generation as an educator. That's why I like this current job a lot. Please revisit your value system. So to wrap up, the understanding of job market demands and dynamics. The other one is understanding of yourself. So in order to increase your understanding on job market needs and yourself, absolutely, there are the two important things needed. First one, experience. If you don't have any experience, it could be the on-campus experience, it could be off-campus experience. But if you don't have those experiences, then it's a little hard to understand what the other people want to see from my resume or from my quality. So experience very important. Second one is reflection, the time to reflect on yourself. Based on experience, you have to think about in what situation you felt the very motivated or you felt very excited. What situation you felt the more struggling or you're not so good as you wanted to. So that's why experience plus reflection. Then if you want, you can talk to us, career advisors, to listen to other people's opinion or getting some advice. Then you can process all those information in your cognitive process. Then you can get a sense about who you are. Also, what areas in the market or industries is more, I think, the motivating or interesting to you. Then you can be more successful in deciding which career route or which industry or which job function you have to be more focused on, right? Your time is limited, but still, if you are browsing like this and everything is looking good, then you cannot be focused. That's why, the experience and reflection will be very important part for your career development and job search preparations.
I totally agree. And I think based on my experience, like how I get to learn more about myself is first of all, like all those internships and part-time jobs that I did, that really help. Like when I'm doing a job, I'm like, oh, I like, the financials, but I don't like whatever technical part. And then that's like one thing, experience. And also talking to people really helps. Like, because I talk to so many people, and then I always ask questions like, what do you do on a daily basis, right? And then they will be like, oh, like usually it's a bunch of meetings, plus I just sit on my computer. And then I'm like, oh, maybe I'm not that kind of person. I need to move around. And, for example, in construction industry like that. So like, and then that's why I pivot my career into construction management rather than like structural design. So it's like by talking to people and by like doing the internship and of course like reflection, like journaling and talking, like just reflecting by myself like that, that's how I figured. But like a lot of people fear that if they narrow it down, there won't be as many opportunities. Like, is that, I think it's not true. Like if you narrow it down, you're like laser focused on a specific position, like you're gonna find many companies hire that particular position. But I feel like a lot of international students thought like, oh, because I can do anything, so like I have more opportunities. That's like, but your resume doesn't fit, your experience doesn't fit and everything. So it's like rather harder for them to find jobs. Like, what do you think?
I agree. So if you're narrowing down your job search strategies or targets, then at some point you can recognize, oh, while you are searching for jobs or while you are talking to the people in the industry, you can learn about other areas neighboring, right? Also, there might be some new industries emerging now that you may have not heard from your classmates, your professors, or even from Googling, right? So that's why experience is very important. The experience means, what? You are not working alone, probably. Most likely you are working in a team, which means you are talking to people. You may have your own client. Also, you are attending meetings. Then you can interact with people. Why, that time is very important. The opening your ears. Then what's going on in this industry? Then if you have any questions, please ask them, right? Then they may be explaining or they may be sharing their own experience. Then your eyes will be open to those neighboring areas.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you are not a running horse like, just running to the goal. No, right? So you have to be open to other plan B or plan C too. But if you don't have those experience in your field you narrow down to, it's a little hard to see or to have a chance to learn about other opportunities, other neighboring industry or emerging areas.
Yes, completely agree. Yep, yep. And also professors, like by talking to professors, like outside of the class material, like they can give you more concept of like what's new in the industry, that too. Okay, moving on to the next question. You are a huge advocate in networking. So, and we touched on a little bit about talking to people. So why do you think networking is important specifically for international students?
Okay, so yeah, I know that you are a wonderful implementer of networking in your life. The networking is very important in most of the countries in the world, but how networking is impacting on your job search could be different by the culture of the country or organizations in those countries. So I don't want to make some generalizations in networking part, but it may be very true. The job market in the US are hugely relying on networks or networkings in giving chances for interviews or the passing the first round of the applications. So already in the market, they're saying 80% of job seekers who found a job saying entirely or partially they got big help from their networks. So out of the 8 out of 10 people saying networking was a part of their job search in the US. Please, international students, to think about how networking is working in your home countries. In some countries, networking may be working differently. For example, if your father or your parents know someone, then you may get a chance for internship without having interviews.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it may be happening somewhere, but it's not the case in the US typically. So that's why, you cannot say, these US cultures, the dependency on networking is a part of nepotism or parachute, right? Because you have to prove yourself in the interview process.
Yes.
Also, the people you are reaching out to may not refer or recommend you to their companies unless they are sure about your quality, right? There is an important condition or background of networking in the US. But let me revisit the question is, many of the American candidates, American or students, domestic students, may have social capitals who can help or who can connect yourself or these students to industry professionals. Okay, simply put, your parents, or I saw some domestic students who found job or internship through their neighbors, right? Or your classmates, or your high school senior, or some other people, in your communities. So you can reach out to them, and they can share their experience, or they can introduce, or they can refer you to their industry or their specific companies. So we call them social capitals. Compared to those domestic students, international student case, let's think about who do you have in your community in the US? Who are existing around yourself? Probably your friends, typically the friends from your home countries, right? speaking your home languages. Also, if you're a person who is very focused on academic performance, maybe I think your social capital may be limited to your faculty members. Still, getting some help from your faculty or professors will be very important. But compared to domestic students, I would not say most of the domestic students are taking advantage of social capital. There are some other students who don't have those social capital too. But so given this the limited amount or numbers of social capitals resources for international students, we have to make our own intentional effort to create my social capital who would help me to connect with the industries or specific employers. That's why using LinkedIn is so important. But many students don't understand how to use LinkedIn. Students may think creating a LinkedIn profile will be enough. But you know what? Creating a LinkedIn profile, appealing LinkedIn profile, is just the first step you can take. Way more steps are there. You haven't done that before. So that's why the networking is not just creating a LinkedIn profile, not just attending on networking events hosted by university career service offices, right? So later, I don't know if you have a chance to talk about my programs, but you have to make a very intentional effort for networking things.
Yeah, I completely agree. And just an advertisement, if you want to learn more about LinkedIn, I have YouTube videos dedicated just for how to create your profile, get your door in networking. And later on, I'm going to teach you guys how to do informational interviews and so on. And also, Union, if you're in University of Illinois, don't worry about my video. Go to Union, talk to him, take his programs, which we will mention at the end of our video.
That is all I have for his part 1 video. I hope you enjoyed it very much. And if you like contents like this, please subscribe, like, and share to your friends who would probably benefit from it as well. Stay tuned for part 2. We will continue to go through some of the questions that we came up with. And yeah, bye.